Hey, what's going on everybody? It's ETAPRIME back here again. I'm going to try to make this quick, but there is a lot to cover here. Recently, AYANEO held kind of a press event over here on YouTube. If you're interested in checking it out, I'll leave a link in the description. But in that event, they revealed the AYANEO Geek and the AYANEO 2. Now, there's a couple different SKUs between the two different models, but they're set to be shipping in December. All of them are going to be powered by the Ryzen 7 6800U. You can opt up to 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM with these units, and they will be offering a few different colors. But overall, for what they have here, I think these are definitely going to be some of the best 6800U handhelds that we've seen so far, especially the AYANEO 2. I mean, this thing is jam-packed with features. They also revealed that they'll be releasing AYANEO OS along with these, so we'll have a Linux variant to run with this. And we finally got a really close look at both of these new handhelds, plus pricing. And like I mentioned, these are set to be shipping in December, so they will be going up for pre-order soon. I think the Geek is going to go up on Indiegogo, and you can get the AYANEO 2 from their website directly. But yeah, I mean, one of the most important things here is going to be the price. The Geek is going to come in a little lower, and we've got a price list and a spec list here, but we're definitely going to head over to the website and just check both of these out because I think both of them do have a lot to offer. So we've got the AYANEO 2 and the AYANEO Geek. The AYANEO Geek is going to come in at the lowest cost here, and it's going to come with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. Super Early Bird is $799. Early Bird is $849 and retail is going to be $999. Obviously, this is way more expensive than the Steam Deck, but you got to keep in mind that Valve can make up the cost that they're losing on the Steam Deck by selling you more games down the road. AYANEO and these smaller companies don't have that luxury, but I completely understand that the end user really doesn't care about that. But what we are getting here is a premium high-performance handheld. Now with the Geek, they've got an 800p display, and that's going to be the lowest cost one. Or you can opt for the 1200p display, and that comes in a base configuration of 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 1TB drive. Super Early Bird is $949, $999 for Early Bird, and $1169 retail. As for the AYANEO 2 in its base configuration with 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 512 NVMe SSD, $949 Super Early Bird. Early Bird is going to be $999, and retail is $1,099. Now, they will be offering more RAM and more storage, so these prices will go up, but these are just the base model prices here. Okay, so taking a look at the website, if you head over here, they do have a dedicated page for the Geek and the AYANEO 2. First up, we're going to take a look at the Geek, and they're going to be offering this in two different color variants, Crystal Purple, and the purple really does set this off. I love these transparent cases. I kind of wish, it was atomic purple itself, but this smoke color with the purple accents looks absolutely amazing. They've also got the solid black version, and as you can see, we do have RGB around the analog sticks. These are using Hall sensors in the analog sticks. A little bit about the specs here. Fantasy Black Slim Bezel is only going to have that 800p display, and the Crystal Purple No Bezel has a 1200p display, so there will be different choices that you need to keep an eye on. But both are going to be powered by that Ryzen 7 6800U, so we're going to get some really good performance out of this thing. Hall sensor joysticks and triggers, and this is going to be running Windows. We can use ISpace in Windows, but hopefully by the time this is released, we do get a look at AYANEO OS. I've been keeping an eye on it. It's starting to look really good. It's a Linux-based operating system, and as soon as I can get a copy of this, I will be testing it on a couple different AYANEO devices. But yeah, I think this should be really awesome for people who want a game on Linux. Scrolling down a bit more, like we saw, we've got the 800p display and a 1200p display. Obviously, the 800p display in that solid black is going to be cheaper than the 1200. Here's a closer look at the Fantasy Black, and we've got the Crystal Purple here. I really love this Crystal Purple. It looks so good. It does have some purple accents on the buttons and everything like that. Really nice design. But yeah, there's a lot of great information over here, and I would highly recommend checking it out if you're interested in either of these devices. This was the Geek that we took a look at, and I'll just scroll on down here. It's got those X-axis linear motors, and this should definitely give us some really nice haptics with this. We have a 50.25 watt-hour battery, and they're claiming that the cooler system that they're going to be using in the Geek will support up to 32 to 35 watts without thermal throttling. And with what they've done with the other systems from the original AYANEO, I could definitely see this being the case. They've really done some great designs with these coolers. Fingerprint sensor up top, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2, and this is going to support an 80mm NVMe M.2 SSD up to 8 terabytes. There's plenty of room in here for a double-sided SSD. Now, you're definitely going to be paying a pretty penny for an 8 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD, but you know, it will support it. And one thing I love seeing on these handhelds is USB 4. So this will support an eGPU. Basically, we can plug an external GPU into this thing and turn it into a 4K gaming monster with the right GPU. It will have a 3.5mm headphone jack, an SD card slot. It's using LPDDR5 at 6400 MHz, dual microphones, and dual stereo speakers. So that's it for the Geek here. Lots of great information. I just skimmed through all of this stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at the AYANEO 2. So the AYANEO 2 will be coming in with a higher price tag, but there are some really great features here. Now, when it comes down to just overall performance, these will perform the same. They're using that same 6800U APU with those built-in Radeon 680M graphics based on RDNA2. And just like the Geek, we'll have a really nice cooling system here, so we can really up the wattage on that, because the 6800U does like a lot of wattage, and of course, it's going to kill the battery faster, but it offers amazing performance with that higher TDP. This is going to have the first no bezel screen design on a Windows gaming handheld, and the way they've got this set up actually looks really good, but it looks like this render here has the image upside down. Yeah, because the D-pad's over here on the left-hand side. But they've got this full protector that goes over the full handheld here, and as you can see, I understand that this is a render, but we're not going to have bezels on this. I mean, they're not going to advertise it like that and then throw big bezels on this thing. This screen is going to be wall to wall. Now, unfortunately, it's not an OLED display, but what they're using here actually looks really good. We've actually seen this thing in action in their latest stream. If you're interested in checking that out, I'll leave a link in the description. And with this one here, we do get 2 full function USB 4.0 ports, and it does support Thunderbolt 4. So like I mentioned, we can connect an eGPU to this, and that's one of my favorite things about these new AMD handhelds. Having that ability to kind of just swap over to desktop mode with an eGPU connected is really awesome. I mean, you can definitely turn this into a 4K gaming monster, given the CPU performance we have here with the 6800U. Moving down a bit, we've got an image of the back, really nice ergonomics, should be very comfortable to hold on to, and both of these are going to come in smaller than the Steam Deck. So yeah, I am super excited about this one and the Geek. And when it comes to the screen here on the 2, it's going to have a resolution of 1920 by 1200, 323 pixels per inch, and 400 nits of brightness. Now, it's not OLED, but it's going to look really, really good. And they're promising no dead pixels or bright spots from this display. But yeah, that black looks really nice. Still got that fingerprint sensor up here. This is using Hall sensors and the joysticks and the analog triggers. And yeah, I mean, very, very nice looking handheld. Hopefully, I can get my hands on one to test it. But yeah, pre-orders will be coming up soon. Now with this one here, you will have to pre-order it from their website, but they will be launching a campaign, I believe Indiegogo for the Geek, so definitely keep an eye on that. But yeah, if you're interested in learning more about either of these, I'm going to leave some links to AYANEO's website. I'm super excited about this. I know we've got a lot of 6800U handhelds coming out. Given the products that Aya has released in the past, this is definitely going to be a very nice premium handheld. And yeah, I'm actually more excited about this one here being the AYANEO 2 over the Geek just because of that bezel-less display. But to keep the cost down, they're offering that Geek. And when it comes to overall raw performance, we should see the same between the two, given we have that same APU. That's going to wrap it up for this one. I tried to make it quick, but you know, there's so much to cover here. I would highly recommend checking out their website for the Geek and the AYANEO 2. Links for those are in the description. And if we get any other major information, I'll post it over in the community section, so keep an eye out there. But I'd like to know what you think about these devices. I know the price on these is a bit high, and that's the first thing somebody's going to say. When you compare it to the Steam Deck, you really can't compete because the Steam Deck's price is absolutely amazing. But if you were to get one of these, would you pick up the Geek or the AYANEO 2? Let me know which one you would choose and why in the comments below. And like always, thanks for watching.